Lancers will be playing the Syracuse Silver Knights, as expected, in the Eastern Division semifinals. Game 1 will be on March 5th. That's a Thursday at the Blue Cross Arena, and then Game 2, a Sunday, March 8th, at the On Center in Syracuse. The winner of that series will face the Baltimore Blast in a one-game division final. Now, Elliot, I was thinking it might not have been such a bad thing that you guys got destroyed 11-0 in Baltimore. I think maybe it might be easier to bounce back from that performance to maybe finally beat them in the playoffs when it actually counts.
Well, I mean, you never know. Like, nothing really, all that matters to me is a championship. I'm very competitive. I want to win. I never want to lose a single game. But at the end of the day, it's water under the bridge. Once the playoffs start, it's a new mini season, right? Like, you fight to get into the playoffs.
Right.
Now we're in the divisional playoffs, so we have to get through Syracuse for the chance to even play Baltimore. So we earned it, to some degree or another, gritted it out, and I'm glad we're here. But yeah, I mean, getting blown out by them, they're definitely overconfident when they play us. And there's a couple times we've almost snatched victory from them, but we've never done that, and that drives me insane. So we do get them one more time at their place. They come here. I'm sorry, March 1st is their last home game.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
4 p.m. It's a Sunday, so we see Baltimore again.
Okay.
To me, it's either way, man. Like, I think beating them would be good for our belief, because it's kind of like that curse of the babe, where you just mentally, if you've never done it, it's harder to envision it. And if they've done it, beat us every time, they just have that belief even when we're taking it to them. So we could use a win to encourage our belief. But yeah, at the end of the day, come playoffs, you just have to beat them one time.
Right.
To get to Syracuse.
Right. Yeah.
For a miracle.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about miracle. I think they can do it.
16-0.
It is.
It's kind. I mean, you can kind of. I mean, the miracle on ice is not nearly.
Right, come on. Let's be serious.
Miracle
Anyway.
on turf.
Okay. Elliot, Mohican Warrior, Thursday night at Blue Cross Arena. Harrisburg comes back in town. I don't know if they're sticking around this week, enjoying the weather or what, or coming back, but they will be here again Thursday night. Want to just give us a quick preview of that game?
Thursday night, be there or be square. We can take the heat. We do not welcome the heat. -4 degrees with a -19 wind chill is plenty warm for me. We're going to turn that hot little bus right around and send them back to Harrisburg.
All right. Sounds great. That's right, guys. Everyone, please be there Thursday night. I'm going to be there. John, you going to be there?
We'll be there.
All right. We will see you there. Warrior, Elliot Fauske, thank you so much for joining us once again. And thanks again for doing our gig at the,
thank you.
At
that
the
was
Record
great.
Archive the other night. That was really fun with you.
Yeah, of course. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Let's get it on.
All right.
Thursday night.
Let's do it. That was Elliot Fauske, the Mohican Warrior. We're going to have Drew Larman coming up in just a few minutes, the former Amerks captain and now a filmmaker. Why don't we not forget about our wonderful sponsors, though, first. John, your favorite sponsor.
Yeah, my favorite sponsor, Leroy Discount Liquor. They're in Leroy, and, it's one of those things where you might say, it's kind of a drive. It's about 20 minutes. It's worth it. It's a very, very, very good place to go. Johnny knows his stuff. He knows what you need. You just tell him, and he'll explain everything you need to know. They have a great selection of wines under $15. They even have a $5.99 rack, which is my personal favorite. Stay warm, stay safe, and if you can make it out to Leroy Discount Liquor, please do.
And this would be a good week to do it. I think the snow's finally clearing up a little bit.
Oh, hopefully. It's cold. I mean, the snow's clearing up, but the cold is
It is very cold. But you know what?
Problem.
I'll tell you this. We complain in Rochester when it's like -5, which is really cold, but it was -32 in Watertown.
Yeah, and
Friday.
that is...
Like that, I honestly...
That's cold.
I can't even imagine what that
cold.
feels like.
I imagine it doesn't feel good.
It's, I mean, that's like, it just seems like dangerous cold.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where you just really don't want to be alive outside.
Oh.
So, but we live in Rochester, so we don't have to deal with that.
It could happen.
It could. Oh, yeah.
Oh, something good must be coming up. I hear the music.
I think that's going to be the Mirage 414 Westridge Road, your place for the hottest entertainment on these cold nights. Come in. You know what? It is ice cold outside. The beer is still going to be ice cold. I mean, if you want to warm up your beer, just put it between your legs or something for a minute. But the beer is ice cold. They are known for having the coldest beer in town. Great drinks. They have all the liquor selections you could ever want. Drink specials. Bartenders are great. They are hot. And the girls, of course, are hot. The hottest girls in Rochester.
What makes it so hot in there? Is it the girls or is it the heat?
Well, the heat is very... Listen, Mike, the manager, he turns the heat up to a very comfortable level, okay? It's about 72 in there. It's a lot warmer than my house, I'll tell you that, okay? My roommate doesn't like heat, so...
No, neither do I, because heat's expensive.
Right. I don't care about the price so much of the heat. I'd rather be warm and pay extra money, right? But my roommate's the opposite way. He'd rather, save a little bit of money. So,
you smart man. When you get hit with that $1,000 bill,
when I have my own house someday,
it'll be like 85, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be. Listen, kids, just crank it. Just crank it up, all right?
We'll worry about the bill later.
Seriously, I'll pay the bill. I don't care. And then same thing in the summer. Crank up the AC. It's even in Rochester.
It'll be 40 degrees inside
here. Even in
here.
Rochester, it gets a little.
It's 60 out there, but it'll be 40 in here.
In the summer, I don't care, man. Crank up the AC. I'll pay for it. All right. Anyways, that's our proud sponsor, the Mirage 414 West Ridge Road in Rochester. Give them a visit. We are now joined by former co-captain of the Rochester Americans. Played here for 4 seasons, 213 games with the Amerks. Also played in the NHL, 26 games overall with the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. Now a filmmaker. This is Drew Larman. Drew, thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the show, Drew.
Thank you, gentlemen. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited to talk to you about this. I think I was friends with you on Facebook, and I was always seeing your posts about your movies, right? And I'm a very spiritual person myself. I'm very interested in yoga and the chakras and Reiki and all the things that it seems like you're interested in as well. And how do you go from hockey, from playing professional hockey at the highest level you can possibly play, to just all of a sudden becoming this spiritual filmmaker?
Funny you should say that. I have to say, I have to have a confession. I was always a filmmaker first and a hockey player second.
Oh, okay.
But not many people really knew that about me, and I always thought to myself, well, I really like playing hockey. I always wanted to try and play in the NHL, and you can only do that when you're young, so I went to that while I was young, and I got to the point into my spirituality where, I couldn't really wait any longer to get into the filmmaking. I wanted to go big with it and make a splash, and I really needed to commit some type of full-time effort to it. So I kind of saw that as more of a priority for me through my late 20s.
So did you feel like, once you made the NHL, the second time around, did you feel like, all right, this is good. I'm satisfied. I made the NHL. I'm playing the best hockey in the world. Now I can do something else.
50-50 maybe. I mean, I still have a drive to be a player. I think I'll always have a drive to be a player. I think it was just a timing issue for me. I just really was, like you said, into... And the funny thing is, I was so into my body because I was working out every day and looking for the new nutrition. I was at that time affiliated with Rochester because of the Florida Panthers, and they had a strength coach of Andy O'Brien, and he was the one that trained with Sidney Crosby when he was a child, when he was a kid growing up.
Wow,
really cool.
So he had a different perspective on a lot of training, and so I started to take a different view. And now he was obviously a Florida Panthers trainer, so we had to listen to him, and a lot of the things he was saying was alternative things, and so that's how I kind of got into. I actually got into Pilates first. I did Pilates in the summer between my second, third year.
What is Pilates? I have to say I've never done Pilates. I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, Pilates is basically yoga in sets. So it's kind of like working out, like doing yoga poses, only in sets, and they're just really minor movements.
Okay.
So you're really kind of fine tuning the small muscle groups so that they all work together in unison, and that instead of working like heavy weights where you're working large muscle groups and neglecting the smaller muscle groups. So it's a good balance of having all sorts of different type of workouts as part of your training is best.
Very cool.
That's
So
awesome.
you're yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's to elaborate on the filmmaking side of how I went from playing hockey. So yeah, I got into Pilates and then yoga. I got into yoga because it was great training for hockey around my third, fourth year. And then I opened the door to the chakras around 2008, 2009. And then I really began putting the pieces together for like my late 20s, I would say. And I began to, really kind of find some type of film that I can really invest in. And this chakra yoga experience is, a different type of film where it's not like it's a film where you can just sit there on your couch and just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You get active with the TV. We're now participating with what's happening on screen. And so I just felt like I had a priority in where I was positioned as far as my character. And like you said, a co-captain of the Amerks, I just felt very, my lead. I just felt like I needed to be a leader, and filmmaking is part of my life always, and I'm ready to share it. And that was a big part of my transition.
So your first feature-length film, you're talking about chakra yoga experience. So is this like? It sounds like an exercise video. Is it similar to that?
It's a 7-part, 11-hour series. So each part is 90 minutes.
Okay.
And it's basically a yoga class.
Okay.
It's got the language of any average yoga class in a studio. You walk into a studio, you're going to take a class somewhere. There's tons of different styles of yoga. It's just like your basic average class. It combines your basic physical asana, which are the physical postures. So it's, you lay out your mat, you move through the movements, you're guided through the poses by Jacqueline Chioda, who's an international yoga teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She's been teaching for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And
cool.
So she's the instructor on the video. And you're also given alignment points. Every pose throughout the 11 hours of the series is broken down, so you're given specific alignment points. And it's also filmed with nature. And the reason why there's 7 parts is because there's 7 major chakras,
right.
they're called,
right,
in the body. And each one is designated, has a color and a sense and an element that's associated with it. So the root chakra, we're in the jungle doing yoga. Second chakra is water.
Okay.
So we're next to the ocean doing yoga. Third chakra, sun. We're in 10 o'clock in the morning doing yoga. Sunny Florida. Fourth chakra, we're in upstate New York in Lake George. Green, you can see mountains. The element is air. And third chakra, the element is fire. You get to the fifth chakra, the element is space. And then the fifth, sixth, and seventh chakra is space, light, and thought.
Mm-hmm.
And fifth chakra is in Costa Rica, and then the sixth chakra is in kind of Machu Picchu, Peru.
Oh, so my God.
You get that, that paranormal element to the higher chakra.
Right, and the third eye.
And the seventh chakra is on this really expansive beach. It almost looks like the moon.
Wow.
That sounds amazing.
So, where's that beach?
And that would be in Florida.
Okay.
So the first part was just released. That's the part 1 of 7, the Muladhara.
Very cool. And where can people find this?
They can find it right at the website at chakrayogaexperience.com.
Okay.
And yeah, right there. There's a big buy now button, and then that'll lead you to the shopping cart and the store where you would check out.
Drew, I'm into all the spiritual arts and all that. I tried yoga a couple times. I found it extremely difficult. Like I'm not that flexible. But I would be really interested to check out your series because I think you sound like you really know what you're doing, and just to being a hockey guy myself, to hear it from a hockey player, I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
and it's kind of got the, it's meant so you can take it at your own pace. So just watching it,